Hi, I'm Matt Lefevers. I'm a music producer and guitar player in Phoenix, Arizona. And I haven't updated this channel in a minute because I've been busy with music projects and producing some records. But I'm here today to shoot out some transparent overdrives, which I know is a buzzword and I know bothers some people. I'm using that word very specifically. Some of the drives that people lump into the transparent category, like blues breakers and clones, I would not consider transparent at all. Honestly, for as much as people throw that word around, there aren't that many drives I consider to be like legitimately transparent. And it seems like when the conversation turns to this, the names that always come up are the Timmy, the Lightspeed, and not very many others. I'm a longtime devotee of the Timmy. I have had that pedal for a decade or something now, and I adore it. But one of my best friends loaned me the Lightspeed by Greer amps, and then also this wildcard option, which I was not familiar with, called the Konstante by Twilight Pulse, I believe they're called. These are all firmly in that transparent drive camp, which means they're adding grit and volume to your guitar playing, but it sounds like part of your amp signal still. They're not imparting really like their own character. It's just giving you kind of more of what you already have going on. So I love drives like that. I'm very interested to try these two. I thought I would just go ahead and film it, try these out, kind of see how they overlap, how they differ, and maybe this will be useful to someone. So this is my clean tone. It's kind of weird because the Timmy for me is an always on pedal, so I'm used to considering that part of my clean tone, but this is truly just no drives. I've got this Fender JA90 into the Strymon Iridium, my compressor's on and not much else. So I'm playing on the neck pickup, so I usually use the Timmy to shelve out some low end, and then it's adding a little bit of grit. So I've kind of dialed these in to do that as well. And then once I compare them at these settings, I'll start turning knobs and stuff. But this is the Timmy set up pretty much how I typically use it. Lightspeed. And then Konstante. My own first impression is each of these sounds amazing, but I think the Lightspeed and the Konstante are a little more similar to each other than either one is to the Timmy. I'll do one more riff in the, sort of this zone, and then I'll start turning up the gain. Okay, going up a bit on each of the gain knobs. I'll go to noon on all of them. Okay, the Timmy gains up a lot faster than these others, because this is now a ton of gain, whereas the Lightspeed at noon sounds like this. The Konstante and the Timmy might be a little more in tune with each other in terms of the sweep of the gain knob. I kind of have to have the Lightspeed up at 1 or 2 o'clock to match those. It does sound wonderful, though. Timmy's getting a little woollier up here in these settings. I'll see where that goes as I keep increasing the gain here. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm at like 1 o'clock on the Timmy and I'm close to tapping out these other two. So let's go all the way up on the Lightspeed. See what these are like at max gain. Not that this is really how you would typically use a transparent drive, but let's do it. So the Timmy's like fuzzing out here. The other two sound pretty good, actually. It's definitely chunky, but there's a clarity to both of these. The Lightspeed especially, I've got the gain maxed out here and it's pretty crisp. Let's back it off to a reasonable level again. Okay, so this has nothing to do with how anything sounds, but the knobs on this Konstante are kind of annoying. I can't see what's going on without craning like all the way over here because they're just a little black arrow on a big silver knob. I'm sitting right here next to it. I can't imagine how this would be on like a dimly lit stage or something, but it sounds terrific. I love the sound of it. Okay, I've got these set back to a little more responsible settings gain-wise, and I'm going to try stacking them because that's how I would typically use the Timmy is as my first default gain stage, and then I use a Mojo Hand Rook to kick things up a notch. So let's see how these behave with that. Okay, so here's Timmy into the Rook. So it kind of feels like the Timmy and the Konstante are stacking best, which surprises me. The Lightspeed is getting a little muddy. I'm going to try and do something a little chordally complex so that I can hear the muddiness. And then constant. Would the Lightspeed work better if I boosted the treble more? Not really. Yeah, that's interesting. I think the Lightspeed is getting muddied up by being stacked into the rook here. Okay, I've lowered the gain on these even more, and I'm going to try the stacking thing again. Yeah, that's interesting. I always assumed the Lightspeed would be really crisp in this situation, and it certainly sounds good, but there's something happening with the mids or the gain that is making weird, kind of complex stuff a little harder to hear what I'm playing compared to the other two. Okay, I'm going to raise the gain a little bit, and I'm going to play with to use another buzzword like the touch sensitivity. I want to see how digging in softly versus digging in hard affects these. And then finally, the way I really use a transparent drive is as almost a clean tone, oftentimes with some delay or something on. So I'm going to try that. I've dialed each of these back in to be like really mellow. So I'm going to delay up here and then do some like lead, clean stuff. as is so often the case when I do videos like this, all of these are pretty nice in their own way, and I'm sure everyone will have their own opinion about which sounds best. I'm kind of relieved nothing seems to have totally unseated my Timmy because I have had that thing longer than almost any other pedal I own, and I would hate to get rid of it. Anyway, hope that was interesting or helpful. I think a good transparent drive is an unbelievable, like, first gain stage, and then you can stack them into drives that have a little more color or whatever after that. But I think this is a really useful thing to have, and any of these three does a pretty good job at it. So hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.